Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast for the haunted attraction haunt entertainment community. Whether you're an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you. And no matter which winter holiday you are celebrating right now, you are in the dead middle of it.
Yeah.
Yule, you're in Yule. Hanukkah, you got Hanukkah. And the day we're recording and publishing, it's Christmas Eve. It's also Festivus. It's also... I don't know when Kwanzaa is. Someone help me out. But I'm pretty sure it's pretty close too. So happy whatever holiday you are celebrating. They're all jammed together this year. Well, Festivus is always on the 23rd. But, yeah. But anyways, hope your holidays are going well. This is our last episode before the Christmas season. And our next to last episode of the decade. Woo!
Yeah. And because of the way this is... this worked out, we're probably going to be doing our special next week.
Yes, some stripe. We'll be doing a holiday thing. Because it turns out we had a lot of news.
We do.
Yes, but first thing is first, do take a moment. If you have not done so already, check us out at hauntweekly.com. It's a pretty website. You can also check us out at Haunt Weekly on Twitter, Haunt Weekly on Facebook. We're also at youtube.com/Haunt Weekly. Give us a subscribe there. Episodes go live there at the same time they go at iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts. And you can listen to any episode in the history there, unlike iTunes and so forth, which often only preserves the last few episodes. Mm-hmm. So you can listen to every episode. Ever.
That's a lot of episodes.
Good luck.
We've been doing this a while.
Yes, we have. Anyways, folks, as we mentioned before that, this is a news week. It fell, so this was a news week, and we decided to go ahead and just make it one because there was a lot to get through. Like a surprising amount. And that's without me including every instance of such and such haunt's doing a new Christmas haunt this year.
Right.
Doobie.
Yeah, you've all seen all of those advertisements. You know what's going on.
Oh my God, New Orleans Nightmares doing a Christmas thing again, just like they've done the past two, you know? Or is it just the second year?
I think this is the second year.
I think this is the second. I think you're right. So yeah, just like they did last year.
Yeah.
At some point, it stops being news, and that's one of the dangers of these holiday festivities, something to think about. Mm-hmm. But anyways, first thing is first, we have conference reminders. We'll kick things off this week. By the way, we have updated the conference reminders now. We have what I think is a more complete list. Apologize to some of the very big conferences we missed last week because we were in a rush and didn't have time to update our calendar. Ready? So we begin. Coming up next, January 17th through the 19th, right here in New Orleans, Louisiana, it's HauntCon Halloween Party Expo at the Arson Memorial Convention Center. Will be featuring us. We are speaking at HauntCon itself, and also on Friday the 17th, we are doing an open house and walkthrough of our haunt. We are working hard to get it ready. We've got a long winter's vacation ahead of us.
Yes.
Not as bad as it looks, though.
No, but, I mean, we could have gone out of town to see family for longer, but instead we're getting this ready for you guys.
Yes, we are. So we'll be doing that. There is an event. It is pinned to the top of Haunt Weekly on Facebook, on our Facebook page. Go there, say that you are going to RSVP so we can get a count for the purpose of transportation and food and other stuff we'll probably be doing.
Yes.
Please let us know if you're coming. It looks like we have a very good crowd. We got about 12 people, it looks like-ish. Mm-hmm. And that's honestly about perfect.
Yeah, it is.
We can handle a few more people. So if you do want to come, the door ain't shut.
Right.
But we're definitely getting close to what I think we can handle.
Yeah, it's definitely getting close to the cutoff. Yeah. Just because food cost alone.
Well, food cost and transportation is going to be difficult too because we got to get them across the river.
Right.
And we're trying to do this without necessarily renting a giant bus or something.
Yeah, or a van. But.
But so we're working on it. There may be a second Talking Works. I don't know all the details. HauntCon.com. Check it out. Good stuff.
Okay. Then, May 15th through the 17th.
Oh, you skipped one.
I did. Okay, February 21st through the 23rd. That's
You got
the one I was
excited.
supposed to
You
do.
got excited. It's okay. I respect your excitement.
Yes, I'd already passed the one that you were talking about. All right, it's Haunt X, the Haunters DIY Expo in Pomona, California. At the Fairplex, they will be touring Asylum Haunted House, lights on and off, and a costume ball will happen. HauntX.com for more info.
All right. After that, now May 15th through the 17th in Portland, Oregon, it's the West Coast Haunters Convention at the DoubleTree Hotel, Portland. Very interesting. I almost thought they hadn't updated the site because all the information was the same except for the exact dates. They will be touring, they also changed the tour. They'll be touring The Fear Haunted House. It's The Fear Haunted is the name of the haunted house. Grammatically, that is an atrocious sentence.
Yeah.
Touring The Fear Haunted House. There's also going to be a costume ball, a silent auction, and, of course, the Pajama Party. Nightmare After West Coast Haunters Convention Film Festival with a secret selection of films. And they are also encouraging you to feel free to sleep in the nude with a modesty sheet underneath a moose skin. You know, for the Canadians.
The fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. It was on the site. I look, this was my morning, okay?
Okay,
You were
then.
asleep and doing like the things I should have been doing. But I was reading about sleeping naked under moose skin.
Okay, that seems problematic. Anyway,
HauntersConvention.com. Enjoy.
yes, that's where you can find out what he's talking about. Okay.
Dozens of people just clicked on that site.
Yes.
Dozens of them.
Yes. All 3 listeners. All right. March 19th through the 22nd is Trans World's Halloween and Attraction Show in St. Louis, Missouri. It will be at the America Center, co-located with Trans World's Christmas Show and the Room Escape Show.
That's right. Now, 3 of the 5 conferences that they run
Yes.
are in the same place at the same time.
Convenient?
Crazy?
Yeah.
I can use a lot of words there.
Yeah.
Just a heads up that's going on.
So there's a lot going on with this tour,
Yes.
with this convention. Darkness and Limp Brewery behind the scenes tour will happen. Features a party at City Museum on Thursday and a performance by the Vampire Circus on Friday and a werewolf ball on Saturday. I think those are the same things they did last year.
No, okay, yes and
well,
no. It was
the
a
werewolf
vampire ball.
ball's been added.
It was a vampire ball last year.
Okay.
They had a ball, but it was a vampire ball.
Right, because it was the Vampire Circus and the Vampire
And we
Ball.
always tripped over saying it, and now we have less excuse to trip over saying it. But yes, it is the exact same entertainment otherwise.
Okay.
Once again, I mean, I was confused.
You can find out at thehawshow.com. HAASHOW.
All right, after that, May 15th through the 17th, it's the Ohio Halloween and Haunters Convention at the Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio. Features a ghost hunt, a costume party, and a haunted house tours. Ohio Halloween and Haunters Convention.com for more details.
Okay. June 5th through the 7th, it's Midwest Haunters Convention in Schaumburg, Illinois.
Berwyn. Oh, no, wait, sorry, wrong town.
At the Renaissance Schaumburg Convention Center Hotel. That's the same place it was last
Yes, it
year.
is.
Tours will be announced later whenever they do announce it, in addition to their costume party and a kids zone.
Don't ask. I'm just repeating what the site told me.
You can find out about it at MidwestHauntersConvention.com.
Though I have to say, a kids zone for haunty kids does sound pretty awesome.
It does.
I'm going to give credit for that one. That sounds like a good idea to me. And I think very few things are actually good ideas.
Well, I mean, we talk about the haunt family all the time, but we don't talk about the families involved with the haunt a lot.
Nope.
But there are.
All right. So that's it for now for the conference reminders. A quick update on our haunt. Slow but steady progress. Mm-hmm. One of the themes we've been doing with this build is, since we have extra time, and since we're doing this for January, is we're trying to do things right.
Yeah.
We're trying to make up for sins of the past 10, 15 years or so.
Yeah.
And fix some things that have been long-standing thorns in our side that we just kind of worked around.
Yeah.
And one of the things we're fixing is our storage situation.
Mm-hmm.
Merciful heaven, our storage situation was a mess. If you came by our haunt last year, you'll recall that we had a panel that was a door, and you can see there was a toolbox in there. And what we did previously, did this like almost 10 years ago now, We went out and we bought one of those big rolly toolboxes. I think we got it from a Sears going out of business sale. So it's a Craftsman.
Yeah.
I think it was
right.
when the Sears at Oakwood went out of business. So you can date it by that if you look that up. And we had the brilliant idea that we're going to put all of our main tools in there, and then we're just going to wheel it to whatever room we're working in. That was stupid. We don't have a haunt big enough to justify that.
Right.
It is much easier just to grab the tools you need from a central location, which admittedly is a corner, so it's not very central, and then take the tools rather than try to get that huge-ass rolly cart around the kinks and turns in the haunt.
Yeah.
So it was stupid.
Yes, and it got stuck behind a wall and then filled up and overflowing.
And it was completely inadequate storage. So what we're doing is we are chucking that. We're probably going to be rolling it to the curb later today, actually. There's a good chance if we get it finished cleaned out.
Yeah, I want to check with some people, see if they want it first.
Okay, fair enough. But we're getting rid of it.
Yes.
If you're in the New Orleans area and you need one of those rolly toolboxes, give us a call. Drop us a line. But anyways, what we did is we went to Walmart, of all places, and bought huge, very sturdy tool shelves.
Yeah.
And it's like 7 feet tall. These things are huge.
Yeah.
And it goes all the way to the ceiling. And now we have like quintupled our storage in there. And no, it doesn't roll, but neither did that goddamn thing, realistically.
No, we weren't taking out from behind the wall every time.
No, we were not. So yeah, we're doing that, and we're replacing that panel, replacing another door panel we have to fix. And then that'll be it for repairing our mistakes.
We've got one more wall too.
Yeah, got the other panel on the other side. But that'll be it for the mistakes. We should be done fixing our mistakes tomorrow or Wednesday.
Yeah, so hopefully by this weekend I should be able to start putting down the new paint.
We should be doing the last 2 builds. We got to do this one sliding door and one trap door.
Yeah.
That I'm not going into exactly what they are.
No.
Because I want you to be surprised when you come by on January 17th. But we have those 2 builds, neither of which are significant.
No.
Both are pretty trivial builds, if we're being honest.
Yeah, but we've never done it, so we're saying they're trivial, but knowing our luck, we'll find a way to make
it difficult.
Yeah.
But the other thing about it is we've done much more complicated builds than either of these.
We have.
So I have confidence we can make this work. So yeah, I expect we'll be doing, like Crystal said, paint probably starting next week, and lighting and decoration immediately thereafter. I probably will. I know we will not have our entranceway up because we can't really leave that up between it doesn't make sense to put that up for this crowd anyway.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see where we get. We'll see how much time we have. But we will probably not have the security system going, and we may not have the full sound effects. And that's just because getting those things done, we might not have time.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's going to see how, but I have no doubt the haunt with all the scares and all the builds will be finished.
Yeah.
That's easy at this point. Still easy at this point. So other than that, the road is still jacked.
Yes, it is.
I can't remember. Were the curbs in, like, last time we talked about this?
I don't remember either. I don't think so, though.
Yeah, they came by sometime recently. I think it was this earlier last week, right after we did the recording.
Right.
And put down the curbs. Now, let's be very clear. By curbs, I do not mean sidewalk.
No.
I mean the angly bit that goes toward the road. So basically, our road looks like the world's shittiest bumper bowling lane right now.
Well, right now, because it's been raining, it looks like a river.
Yeah.
On both sides.
And now we've had what I would call steady rain for the past 4 days. Not heavy.
Right.
But constant, like misty, drizzly, ugly, gray-ass winter New Orleans rain.
Yeah.
And the result of that is, basically, we're talking about holding a Lollapalooza-style mud pit just in the road.
Yeah.
Just give in to the mud. I've got these brand new boots I can't use very much. Because, and it's not because the boots can't take the mud. They can take the mud, but they track in ungodly amounts of mud because of the way those soles are.
They do.
They fuck up the house horribly. The boots are fine.
Yeah.
It's the flooring in the house that gets screwed up. So I'm not using those, and I'm miffed about that because they're really nice boots.
They are.
And I really like them. But still, that's where we are with that. I do not expect this road to be even remotely finished by January 17th. So one of the things, if you do come, or warning everyone now, you will be traipsing through a yard or two. We've already warned the neighbors it will be happening.
Yeah.
All the neighbors involved are aware, so they shouldn't be calling the cops on the strange half-drunken group of about 20 people wandering through the yard.
Yeah.
Just letting you know, that shouldn't happen. So yeah. All in all, It's still going to go on. It'll still be fine, but just be prepared to hike it through some yards. Wear footwear that is appropriate for that, which you should anyway, because it's New Orleans, and even our sidewalks are dangerous.
Yeah, if you're planning on wearing heels down to the quarter depth.
Or sandals.
Yeah,
Good God.
Just don't. Just don't.
And at the very least, what you do, at the very least, go to Walmart. They have those shoes for like restaurant workers. Mm-hmm. Those rubber shoes that look pretty good, I think, but they're designed for people in the food service industry to be anti-slip. They're very comfortable, and they're like $20.
Yeah.
Get you some of them. Pick some up. They're great. All right, news. We got news. We're only 15 minutes into this episode. We haven't covered a single news story. And Crystal, I believe you invited to kick us off this time.
Yes.
So please do us the honors of telling these nice folks the first story.
Okay. So we have an update on our arson story from last time.
Yeah, the guy that tried 3 times to burn down a haunted house and still failed.
Yes, in Carrollton, Georgia.
Yes.
He tried to burn down the Chaos Haunted House. Investigators have arrested a person of interest.
Yes.
They say he's the guy that did it. His name's David Hammond.
And to be fair, he was not doing a very good job hiding his face from the security camera.
Well, he thought they were all going to burn.
Those cameras still feed remotely.
How does he know that?
I mean, like, he bought a Ring camera at some point, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he thought it was an internal security camera, and it might be. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know the setup, but still, anyway.
Anyway, he thought they were going to burn, so he wasn't worried about it. And neither was the girl who was also involved in this, that originally was, they thought she was just the getaway driver, but there's a video of her going through and the fire following her out of the building, like she was doing something to make it spread.
Like, he got back to the car, said, oh, God, the fire's going down again. So she went in and did something, and then came back out.
Yeah.
Honey, can you go help the arson?
Yeah. I don't know how to do this right.
I apparently suck at arson. Will you get in there and do it?
Yeah. So,
They arrested his name is David Hammond.
Yes.
Which I swear that's got to be a fake name.
I know some Hammonds.
But it sounds fake. It's like John Smith or...
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, go ahead. But long story short, he tried 3 times, and they filmed him at a gas station refilling his gas can 3 times, and found, they say the haunt it's an outdoor attraction. It was likely saved by several downpours and soaking rains they'd had before.
Yeah.
Which, hey, if you're an arsonist, don't you know to not try to set...
Yeah.
Have you ever been camping?
Apparently they have not, which is surprising for this area of Georgia.
So, but yeah, they've arrested the guy, and here's the thing that drives me bananas. The police say they have no motive for this.
Yeah, that's weird.
Now, they seem to know who the woman was.
Uh-huh.
And they're saying she's on the run.
Okay. Which
is hilarious to me, the idea that you might be on the run from failing to burn down a haunted house.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a very interesting story to share with your buddy in prison. We tried 3 times to burn down a haunted house and failed. I mean, I'm glad they failed, don't get me wrong. Yes. But, yeah, not going to go well for him. Police are saying there is a reward. Call the Carrollton PD if you have any info on this woman. They did not give a name or a suspect's name for her, but they seem to have an idea of who she is, because they're using the term on the run. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm glad they got the guy, and apparently they got him within like hours of the first story coming out.
Right, exactly.
So he was probably already in jail when we were reporting the first one.
Yeah.
But news media didn't find out until later.
Right, exactly.
So we didn't find out until later. But yeah, I mean, he did minimal damage, luckily. Be thankful for the rain. Said no haunt ever except for this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, all in all, I think it's as positive an ending as we're going to get right now. I hope they're able to get the second person.
Yes.
Speaking of glad they got the person, I'm just going to read the headline because the headline kind of tells the tale of the tape. Man accused of punching kids at haunted house makes first court appearance. Like, yeah, that's pretty much this article by News 8000. In Sparta, Wisconsin, I think they said he was a 22-year-old man. has been arrested for punching a 12-year-old and a 17-year-old volunteer at the House of Shadows.
Right.
Now, that is a local charity haunt that is an event for the local Boys and Girls Club Association, which is a great, fabulous charity. Well, we're supporting. And this dickhead went in there apparently with the intent of punching actors. Yeah,
you don't do that. And we've seen it here. Yeah. I mean, we've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, watch this. I'm gonna deck that guy.
Yeah. No, you don't do that.
And the bad thing, when it happened here and we had to throw the group out.
Yeah.
And we had to ban all of them from the property.
Yeah.
His 3 friends were pissed.
Yeah.
We wanted to go to the haunted house.
Yeah.
Now we can't go.
Yeah.
That's literally what they said.
Yeah. They're like, but we didn't do anything.
I'm sorry. The group lives together or dies together.
Yeah. Pick better friends. I'm sorry.
Your friend's terrible. I hope the 3 of them come back this year, sans the swinger.
Yeah.
And that they have a good time.
Yeah.
That's my hope.
Yeah, but this guy is just like, because a lot of charity haunts, especially put on by the Boys and Girls Club.
And it appears to be a very small town in Wisconsin.
Yes. Is going to have kid actors.
Yeah. They're going to have child actors. It's almost impossible to staff a haunt of any size in a community like that, especially with volunteer labor without that.
Right.
I mean, the Boy Scout haunt we went to had tons of kid actors.
Yeah.
We worked up. And we were kind of some of the oldest people there.
We were.
And we were barely out of college.
Yeah. Very early 20s there.
We were early 20s at that age. And at that point, there was one older creepy guy who was genuinely insane. Then us. And then the kids.
Yes. He was excited that he had the paper proving he was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, none of this is made up. Well, and he was working with kids.
Yeah.
In fact, he was responsible for pretending to chop off the head of a kid.
Yes. With a real knife.
I'm not making any of this up, people.
No, we aren't.
It's nuts. Maybe we should do a whole episode on just how crazy that haunt experience was.
Our first
acting job in a haunt.
First acting job.
Other than in a professional, in a quote unquote money, and a commercial haunt or a charity haunt. Yeah. Whew. Because I'd been home haunting for about 6 years at that point at my parents' house, but this was the first time I was at a place that took money from people.
Yeah.
Sold tickets. So anyways, he left the area apparently bragging about doing it. Mm-hmm. So this wasn't, I got scared and I punched people.
No.
Because, if your natural reaction is to punch people or punch things when you get scared, don't go to a haunted house.
Yes, and I've talked to many people who that is their reaction and they don't go.
Yeah. Do not go to a haunted house. It's like, when I get a couple drinks in me, I just want to fight people. Then don't drink.
Yeah.
Okay, it's that easy. Put the beer down.
Yeah.
It's that simple. I mean, if your reaction to something is problematic, don't stimulate that reaction.
Yeah.
It's that simple. But he was arrested later. He was found with drugs and alcohol inside his vehicle. He was arrested on 2 counts of child abuse. One of the actors was 12, one was 17. And 3 counts of drug possession, as well as the classic police crime of disorderly conduct.
Of course.
Got to throw that in. His next hearing is set for early 2020. Once again, I'm glad they got the guy, and I'm glad this seems to have some serious consequences. I think this may be one of the first times I've heard, at least in the news, because you always hear stories of it happening, passed around haunts, but you don't actually see news coverage of someone actually getting arrested and having legal consequences for harming actors.
Yeah, no, and I'm glad to see it. I mean,
I'm very happy to see it. Yeah. So yeah, that to me it's got a good ending. Once again, I truly wish no one gotten hit or hurt or anything. But if it has to happen, at least there's going to be looks like there's going to be repercussions for it.
Yeah.
Because apparently, in addition to being the type of twat who punches kids in a haunted house, he also has drugs and alcohol in his car. Because one crime at a time was too difficult to understand for some people.
Yeah.
No, seriously, that's the greatest life advice I ever got. You commit one crime at a time. You don't go speeding if you got drugs in the car.
Yeah.
You know?
Not that we, are on crime sprees ever.
Well, no, we do them one at a time. No shit, you don't go on crime sprees. We're smart.
Oh, my gosh.
Anyways, one crime at a time, kids.
Our next story comes from Franklin County, Virginia. And the planning commission there has approved a plan for a haunted house in the town of Union Hall.
I got so confused when I was writing these notes. I thought Union Hall was like a building.
Uh-huh.
And they kept talking about residents of Union Hall. I'm like, how big is this goddamn building? They're like, oh, it's a town.
So the Kim Ford Haunted House will be open every Thursday through Saturday from September 24th through November 7th. So that's a pretty long run for a haunt.
Yeah.
But what they're doing that's cool, that I found cool at least, is they're pairing it with a fall festival that's going to be open the same days, but a little bit before.
Yeah.
So the festival will end at 6 and the haunt opens at 6:30.
Yeah. It's like a 30-minute gap between them, and that's it. And that's really slick.
That is. They're doing it to raise money for family readiness and military ease, and it provides assistance to military and their families. And they passed. Very few people were against the idea. There were some.
There was a 5-2 vote. There's 2 people.
Yeah. They were worried that, traffic in the area would increase. And even though they all agreed that this was something that would be good for the community and should be done, they didn't know if this was the thing that should bring that money in.
Yeah.
So
one of the things, excuse me, that as haunted attractions get more common and get in more and more places, one of the things I think that happens is that it gets easier to get these kinds of things passed.
Yeah.
Because when they say, well, what's going to happen with traffic and what's going to happen with safety? Well, such and such town, which is a very similar town, had a very similar event. These were the things that actually happened, and these are the things we're going to do and pull from them to minimize those impacts. We get templates set up.
Right, exactly. You can point and say, look, they did it.
Yeah.
And they didn't have these issues, or this is how they fixed those issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think pairing it with a fall festival with like a farmer's market and crafting and things for families
like carnival
to do,
games and stuff, yeah.
is a great idea. Because that's a way to have all of that stuff that we've been talking about lately with the fair style and festival style atmosphere without the haunt having to put out the money to do that.
Yeah.
Because then you get all of that entertainment beforehand handled.
Now, my thing that's kind of crazy is that they're going to have that fall festival every single weekend.
Right.
The haunt's open. So think about it. The haunt has, what is that, 6 or 7 weekends there? Mm-hmm. Long story short, there's going to be 6 and 7 weekends. It's like a Renaissance festival almost. Every weekend is going to have this fall festival open for those hours before the haunt.
Yeah.
Now, that's about the same run of time as a Renfest.
Yeah.
So same.
Good luck to them.
Good luck to them. I hope it works out well.
Yeah.
All right. This article originally confused the hell out of me. It took me like 4 or 5 rereads. I'm going to try to explain it. This is an article from Becca Whitnall, at the Acorn. In Thousand Oaks, California, the reign of terror is moving. Mm-hmm. Now, currently, it's a bit like that place in Shreveport that we went to. I'm trying to remember the name of the haunt in Shreveport. It's going to come to me any second.
I don't remember it. It had something to do with insane or something.
I don't know if the mics are picking up, but the car alarm's going off out there, and no one believes a car is being stolen.
No.
We're just all, screw that asshole.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, it's in a shopping complex, like a shopping, I guess you would call it like a market.
Right.
And they are currently upstairs of Gold's Gym. But Gold's Gym is looking to expand, and so they are being forced to move. And then the move is actually kind of a worse deal for them in a lot of ways. They will be moving to what seems to be a bigger space and a space on the ground floor. They'll be taking over the former Marshalls that was there. Mm-hmm. But they will be, for the first time ever, required to pay rent. Previously, the owners of the property were covering the rent and the deposit, which was they said it was worth $1,000 for the deposit and $3,000, and $30,000 rather for the annual rent. Mm-hmm. Then instead, they all have to pay their own rent, which is about $70,000 in costs in the new place, and a $3,000 security deposit. And this is from a haunt that has raised upwards of $350,000 for various local charities. They are a local charity haunt. And here's the other part that's kind of makes it difficult. The lease is only good for 1 year.
Yeah.
And the owner has said openly they have plans for that space, and it's probably the last season.
Right, yeah. And, making a charity haunt pay for the space, it was previously donated to them.
Yeah.
And probably as a tax write-off for the property owners. It sounds like they may not want them to open this year, and that's why they're doing that.
Yeah. No, but the haunt said they're going to do it.
Yeah.
The haunt said they're going to do it. But yeah, I agree with you. And the thing about it is this, for a space like this, especially one that seems to be having some struggles because Marshall's is closed and
right.
And we're in the middle of a retail apocalypse situation here, which could actually wind up being good for haunts, because this means a lot of these big box stores are going to come up on the market for rent or for buying pretty cheap. They're saying, I know, but at least 3 Kmarts are available cheap.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one that would be feasible for us.
Yeah. But the point of the matter is I would think for them, having a haunted house that gets a lot of visitors, they seem to do quite well, would attract a lot of new customers into the area, would bring customers to shop at other stores. Right. It's like having Santa Claus there. Yeah. But for Halloween.
Yeah, and I think that this is a case where if you go back and listen to the How to Raise Your Prices episode, this is definitely raise your price with the explanation of throwing the owner of the property under the bus.
Yeah.
Because, they're the ones making you pay this extra $73K for 1 year. And your customers will, understand, obviously you've got more costs this year than you had last year. And you have more space, so you've got to build a bigger haunt.
And it's unclear how much they raise per year.
Yeah.
But at the very least, it's going to be a significant chunk of what they raise.
Yeah.
So I wish them the best of luck. I hope it works out, and I hope the new space turns out to be amazing for them, and they're able to work this out for a longer period of time. That said, I am skeptical, and they seem skeptical too. I don't think I'm the only one feeling that way.
Yeah, no, they definitely should raise their prices, though, and explain why.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Okay, next story comes from Michigan. The Niles Scream Park in Niles, Michigan, and has handed out over $116,000 to various charities. So we are continuing the spirit of giving this holiday news.
Yeah, we got a run of good charity, feel good charity stories, and I like that. That makes me happy.
Too. Well, I was reading through the notes, and I saw that they were all charities doing good things and getting monies out there, and it's the holiday season, so warms the cockles, as you say.
Yeah. The 70 different organizations.
Right. Civics groups, charities.
Nearly all of them local. And they're also are giving scholarships to 4 high school seniors.
Right. Which is great,
Like, I know the Lafitte Fire Department funds their scholarship part through their haunt.
Yeah.
And they also use the haunt to fund their Christmas thing.
Right, the Parade of Santas or something.
And no one involves Santa throwing a crap ton of candy at little kids' heads.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So I don't know much else about it. I've never been in Lafitte for Christmas, and God help me, I'm trying to keep it that way.
Yeah.
I don't like to go anywhere for Christmas. It's nothing personal with Lafitte. It's just we
don't really do Christmas.
No, we don't Christmas, and dear God, I don't want to leave the house while those nut jobs are out there.
Yeah, and I actually have to be very careful around the Christmas season because of allergies associated with it.
Yeah, but still, very cool. Congratulations on the successful season, guys. Good work.
Yeah.
Speaking of charitable giving, as we shift our gears to Grayland, Michigan, we are now the Forest of Fear there has donated over 1,200 local student organizations, a record-breaking amount, over 12,000 rather, a record-breaking amount for them. They beat the 9,800 raised last year, which that had to kill them. They're like, we can break 10K, we can break, $200 short, man.
Yeah, that's when, you're at the Christoph the Insulter show and you're pitching in to get it over the 200.
Yeah, get the extra 200. And this year they were helped by an increase in attendance. Duh, they had 2,800 people, but also by good weather. They only had one night they were forced to close due to weather, which for a Michigan haunt outdoor attraction, that is impressive.
Yeah.
That's an impressively good season. The charities include food pantries housed at local schools. These are food pantries that basically give kids food and toiletries and things to take home if they are in need. And they're also directly to the schools themselves and the local library, just to name a few places. So they are funding a lot of great stuff. And $12,000 in a community. I mean, I don't know much about, Grayling, Michigan.
Right.
But I can imagine that it's a town small enough where that $12K makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
And what's up? You're doing math. I see math.
Yeah, I am doing math, and I was just trying to figure out.
What their ticket price was?
Huh?
What their ticket price was?
Less than $5.
Wow. Well, okay, I'm going to assume they have costs.
Yeah, so I'm going to assume that too.
They're making less than $5 per ticket.
To go to charity.
Yeah,
less
that
than $5
gets passed on to
goes
charity.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure this is the quote-unquote profit part.
Right, exactly.
They have expenses, they have things they have to buy, things to maintain, etc.
Yeah.
And they probably have a general fund for the haunt. If they're smart, they have a general fund for the haunt that covers these types of things. So yeah, I'm sure that's the amount per ticket that goes to the charities after the expenses are covered.
Right. Yeah. No, I completely agree with that and understand it, but yeah, I was just trying.
But still, and honestly, let's say they're selling it for $10 a ticket, that's still roughly half the ticket actually going straight to charity. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's assuming they're selling them. I don't know what they're selling them for, but that's still pretty good. I mean, because a lot of quote-unquote charity haunts only donate a couple of bucks per ticket. You'll buy like a $25 ticket and $2 will go.
Yeah.
This is definitely not that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So now that I've confused that issue
yes.
by trying to do numbers on the fly.
Numbers were never either of our strong suit.
Well, I was just curious and I wasn't going to talk about it, but
Yeah.
All
okay.
Right. So next, Columbia, Alabama, the Haunt Columbia Manor donated nearly $10,000 to the local fire and rescue. The haunt has been in operation for 11 years. And it's right on the Alabama-Georgia border.
Yeah, I had to look up where this was because I kept seeing Columbia and I kept thinking it was Columbia, South Carolina.
Yeah, no, I tried to look it up too so that I could see if it was one that we either hit or could have hit on our trip.
Yeah. No, it's Columbia, Alabama, which is way in the eastern part of the state, right near the Georgia border. There's no way we could have hit it.
No.
It was not anywhere near where we were when we were passing through there on the way to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Because it's on the southern end of it, southeast, and we cut through and hit Birmingham.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we did that cut through from 10 to 20, and passed through Birmingham. So yeah.
Yeah.
Good job to you guys too. Excellent work, everyone. Mm-hmm. All right, now this article is by Matsus Perkowski at the Capitol Press, and it's entitled "Halloween Trademark Sparks Agritourism Dispute." Long story short, I never actually thought I'd have to say this. In Washington State, near Seattle, Snohomish, the Thomas Family Farm is a well-loved haunted attraction. They do zombie paintball and other haunted house stuff, haunted attraction-related stuff every year. And they've been using the name Nightmare on 9 because they're apparently located on Highway 9.
Right.
All right. Now, both they and another company, Seattle Haunts, are both fighting over who holds that trademark.
Right.
Long story short is that they worked together on the first one in 2012 and continued working together through the 2018 season. Then they parted ways. The article doesn't say why. We can only speculate. But long story short, Thomas Family Farm claims they came up with the idea and hired Seattle Haunts to do the running and the management of the haunt. Mm-hmm. However, Seattle Haunts claims that they were equal partners and they were the ones that came up with the name, so therefore they own the rights to it.
Right. So there was not a contract in place when they paired up.
No, not a good one at least.
Yeah, not a good one. And this is something that maybe we'll talk about because you've done the talks on music licensing, and if you're working with other people, what that entails. I would think that something like this would be very similar.
Yeah.
Especially considering one person paid for the design of the logo and the other person provided people to work the haunt,
Yeah, and with trademark, it gets kind of weird because the person who owns the mark is typically the first person to use it in business, basically, to use it to identify their business.
Right.
And within a certain region or within the confines of however far the mark travels. And from the way they're talking is that they both were the first using it.
Yeah.
And whatever divorce decree they had between them didn't cover who got the name.
Right.
And it's a trademark issue in that they're battling over a trademark, but to me it sounds more like a contract dispute in that their contract omitted a pretty big fucking piece of information.
Yeah, who gets to use the name? I mean, Rob Zombie doesn't use his original name.
No, the White Zombie name, yeah.
The White Zombie name because, they weren't going to let him use it.
Yeah, he didn't know
That's a common thing with bands.
So, yeah, and one time you'll see it's like, so-and-so, formerly from Winger, or whatever.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Algiers Sports Bar.
Oh, my God.
One.
Okay, we're going to do this story very briefly because it is too hilarious not to tell. There's the bar that's literally closest to our house. We don't go there very much. It's not our kind of place.
It's a crap bar.
It's I like me a good dive bar, but it's too far on the dive side. Long story short. That and I don't like cash-only bars for a lot of reasons. But anyways, it's called Algiers Sports Bar, or at least it was. Someone came in, bought the bar, bought the property, bought all the licenses they could. They couldn't buy the video poker license. They're having to get a new one of those.
Right.
But they bought the liquor license. They bought everything else they could. And they reopened it, but they didn't buy or obtain the name.
Yeah.
So their magical solution was Algiers Sports Bar 1.
Yeah.
Literally, the number 1.
Yeah.
And I walked in there the first time they reopened. So I'm like, hey, it's number 1. Are you guys doing a number 2? Are you doing other locations?
Right.
Oh, no, they just made us change the name.
And we were not creative enough to come up
and
with something.
And that was what you came up with?
We're just going to put a 1 at the end.
And it's kind of how, and I hate to say it, but that's kind of how I feel about this name. It's Nightmare on 9. I mean, I don't know how big Highway 9 is in the region. But there's got to be a better name than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not the worst haunted attraction name ever. I mean, at least it's unique.
It is unique, but it's also got 6 years of history behind the name.
And that's the real problem, is it does have that history. Then that's hard. That's probably the more valuable part than the quality of the name.
Yeah.
So, and I agree with that. But still, it's like, really? That's what we're fighting over?
Yeah.
Oh boy, it'll be a long run. But yeah, seriously, this is listed as a trademark dispute because they're fighting over a trademark, but it's definitely a contract issue. These two companies did not figure out adequately the nature of their relationship in 2012, and it's coming to bite them in 2019. Yeah. And they're both suing each other, by the way.
Yeah.
So this is a countersuit situation. So I'll be watching this one closely for obvious reasons. But yeah, it's definitely more contract than IP.
Yeah. Okay. So the next story is a little bit of a sad one.
Yeah.
Well, sad and happy. It has to happen.
Yeah.
Disneyland's Haunted Mansions will close in 2020 for a months-long renovation. So I'm glad that the property is getting renovated.
Yeah.
But I am sad that it has to close.
The sad side is, if you're going in early 2020 to Disneyland, this is in California,
right,
you're not going to get to go to the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
The good news is, it's proof positive that the Haunted Mansion's going nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't invest in a big renovation and an attraction you're just going to tear down in a few years.
You do not. So it's going to close.
Especially Disney don't do that.
Close January 21st after the Christmas decorations are removed, and will return either late March or April. But with their recent schedules,
Who knows?
I would suspect May.
I would say book your vacation in June.
Yeah, or next year. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're really dedicated on seeing it. But yeah.
But they're going to work to include paint and trim on the interior and exterior. And it'll also be getting lighting and mechanical work done in the building. Probably moving all to LEDs.
Probably a big part of it. I would say a part of it's that. Probably moving to some better projections.
Yeah.
Things like that. And probably shoring up some of the ancient mechanicals in there, I hope. It should not cause any visual changes, or something they're very emphatic about. They're not trying to change the appearance in any way.
Yeah. I wish they were adding to it.
The one in Disneyland in particular, they can't. Because they don't have the room.
Okay.
Disney World, they might, because, because Disney World was Walt Disney learning all the things he fucked up at Disneyland and not repeating those mistakes in Disney World. He basically bought up half of Florida to ensure he always had the room.
Yeah.
To put his attractions in. And that's why there is nothing right next to Disney property.
Yeah.
And when you get to that area, when you get out there, there's nothing but Disney hotels, things like that. You can stay off Disney property, but you're going to be driving in from a decent distance out.
Yeah.
He learned from his mistakes. So Disney World, maybe, but Disneyland, I actually watched a thing about how it's butted up against the very edge of the park.
Right.
And there's just nowhere for it to go. Mm-hmm. All right. Speaking of Orlando, though, this article is by Kirsten Politis at Narcity. On December 13th, aka Friday the 13th, a hidden bar entitled The Craft opened up. It was put on by Cocktails and Screams. This is a group that's been putting on lots of these pop-up and hidden bars all over the city. And basically, originally you had to find the physical location of the bar.
Yeah.
And then had to hunt for clues to open the bar. Now everyone knows the physical location of the bar. Or at least toward the end of the run. I don't know if it's still going on. But they still have to figure out how to go into the goddamn thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I actually really like this idea for a haunted house. If you're going to have a bar or you're going to serve alcoholic drinks, this could be a great way to, enhance the mystique of it a little bit. Mm-hmm. You have your usual, concession stand or something. But if you know the secret cues and you solve all the clues, you can get access to the bar.
Yeah.
That could be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I would definitely do that. I would definitely spend money on alcohol at that bar.
I'm trying to figure out a clever name that's the opposite of an escape room, because that's what this is.
Yeah.
But I can't figure out one on the fly. I'm sorry. I'm not that good.
Yeah, it's an escape room, but you're trying to break into the room, which honestly is kind of the theme of a lot of escape rooms.
Yeah. Because you have to get into other rooms before you get out, unless it's a really crap one. But yeah, I like this idea, and I mean, we have the, everybody knows about it now, but Potions is the hidden vampire bar.
Yeah.
Here in New Orleans.
On my do not recommend list, personally. Unless you're really into absinthe.
They do have a lot of absinthe drink. The bar is beautiful. The going into the shop and getting the password to get in, that's fun and ties a couple of businesses together.
Yeah, but it's also really high priced.
It is overpriced.
And it's way too much goddamn absinthe for me.
Yeah, it's overpriced.
I went once and I've not felt the need to even inquire about going again.
Yeah. But if you're really into vampire lore and you want to go and see all of the pretty purple velvet everywhere, then it's your scene.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
But no, I like the idea of a hidden bar or a hidden portion of a haunt that you have to find a certain character or something and say the magic word to and all that kind of stuff. That seems like a lot of fun.
It does.
Speaking of fun,
our last story this week, and I when I saw this in the feed, I knew this was going to be the closer.
Yeah, my dad's had similar experiences to this, bringing us stuff. Speaking of which, he brought one of these to us.
Yes, he did. Except it wasn't this style of guillotine; it was a different style. But I'll just read the headline, because I think the headline is by David Ovale, I don't know, at the Miami Herald. But anyways, yes, that was a guillotine in the back of the Miami-Dade police truck. Here's why it was there.
Yeah.
Long story short, motorists were maybe freaking out's too strong, but very confused and concerned.
Yeah.
About a police truck driving around Miami, like a marked police truck, with a giant guillotine in the back. Mm-hmm. Now, it turns out it was just a prop guillotine, not even a real guillotine. And the Kendall District Police Station puts on a haunted house that apparently is pretty popular each year. Mm-hmm. And they were using it as part of the haunted house, and they were probably moving it into storage, is the suspicion.
Yeah.
But it was still seen driving around Miami. And there were much jokes being had about the police departments deciding to introduce new consequences to criminals.
Yeah.
Viva la France, which is very interesting because we had a haunt called the Reign of Terror.
Right.
And if you remember history, the Reign of Terror was the part of the French Revolution where they were chopping off everyone's heads with guillotines.
Yeah.
So we're definitely dealing with a lot of guillotine stuff today. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so there was much jokes about the new consequences. But yeah, they were just moving it into storage, and apparently it literally made national news.
Yeah.
So guys, pro tip from one haunter to another. If you have to move a coffin, like your dad, or a guillotine, I recommend a tarp over it.
I recommend leaving the tarp off unless it's raining, just because you will get questioned.
Unfortunately, though, it doesn't help after the haunt is closed.
No, but, well, I don't know, it might.
Yeah, but still, if you want to avoid the questions, invest in tarp.
Yeah, I don't know any haunter who doesn't get tickled whenever they freak people out because of something in their car.
Yeah, like when your dad brought the coffin down.
Yeah.
Which was a closet, actually. That wasn't even for the haunt.
No, it's a beautiful closet. It's 7-8 feet tall.
Yeah, it's about 7 feet tall, and it's about 4 feet wide. It's just smaller than a panel, as we found out a few times.
Yes, it is.
It's just smaller than the panel.
It's several offers from people wanting to buy it off of him on the way down.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. And honestly, we may be looking to get rid of it because we're no longer at the house we were at that time.
Right.
The house we have has closets. We needed it because the house we were in at that time did not have closets.
Yeah.
And I guess we could have gone and bought an armoire like an adult.
Yeah, I have a feeling that it's going to be becoming a bookshelf and be moved inside.
I think we're going to find another use for it.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, we have not actively used it in the last, I would say, 5 years or so. It's still in great shape.
Oh, yeah.
It's still in amazing shape. And her dad built it so it weighs 3 metric tons.
Yep.
And it will survive nuclear blasts, even though it's made out of wood.
Yes.
But so he has never underbuilt anything in his life.
Well, no.
He might have done it once and decided I am never doing that again and held true to it.
Well, yeah, because I might have been a destructive kid. So.
But yeah, so.
That's always been his reasoning, is that he had 2 kids, so. Neither of us were.
I wouldn't, out of you and your brother, I would not have pegged you as the destructive one.
Oh, I used to climb on stuff all the time.
Okay, maybe I do.
If it fell over sometimes with me on it, then it might break.
Well, anyway, so that's what happened, though, to the Miami-Dade Police Department. We'll leave that there.
Yeah.
And that's all I have. I think it's been a pretty good news week, actually, for us. I mean, I was worried, because when I saw that we were doing a news episode, Christmas Eve, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
We're going to depress everyone. No, I mean, yeah, we talked about some bad things that happened inside haunts, but in both cases, the people responsible appear to be arrested and facing consequences.
Yeah.
A lot of haunts giving to wonderful charities of different stripes and sizes. Mm-hmm. And the Miami-Dade Police Department scaring the living crap out of everyone with a guillotine. I thought it was a good week.
Yeah. Yeah, other than, the guy punching the kids which was good.
Him getting caught was good, not him punching the kids.
Not him, no. The story part of it that we were reporting on, that he went to jail.
Just totally punch those kids, and we laughed. Just
No.
No. I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant.
I know, but thank you for the clarification, just in case anyone else did not follow the train of thought that my train skipped over pieces.
Your train likes to jump the track every once in a while.
It does. It gets ahead of itself, and then it has to come back.
Well, on that note, everyone, since we need to pull this train into the station, thank you very much for joining us. Hope your holidays are going well. Your Festivus, your Christmas, your Hanukkah, your Yule, whatever you're doing. Merry whatever to it. I hope it is great. I hope you're getting everything you want in terms of your family, your loved ones, and also any kick-ass presents. I mean, always hope for good presents. This has been Haunt Weekly, episode number 212, doing the news for November and December. Well, late November, early December. You can find us at hauntweekly.com or Haunt Weekly on Twitter, Haunt Weekly on Facebook. You can also find us at youtube.com/Haunt Weekly. That's our YouTube channel. All previous episodes are available there. And also, you can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever your podcasts are distributed from. So until next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And we will see you guys next week for the last Haunt Weekly of the decade and some kind of holiday-themed special doohickey.
Yeah, it's going to be some kind of fun one.
We're going to do something fun, I promise. We'll see you guys then.